My name is Mike, and this is the Hot Seat. When Obama refused to disclose who donated money to his election campaign, as other candidates had done, people said it didn't matter. When Obama received endorsements from people like Louis Farrakhan, Muammar Gaddafi, and Hugo Chavez, people said it didn't matter. When it was pointed out that he was a total newcomer and had absolutely no experience in anything except community organizing, people said it didn't matter. When he chose friends and acquaintances such as Bill Ayers and Bernardine Dohrn, who were revolutionary radicals, people said it didn't matter. When his voting record in the Illinois Senate and in the U.S. Senate came into question, people said it didn't matter. When Obama refused to wear a flag lapel pin and did so only after public outcry, people said it didn't matter. When people started treating him as a messiah and children in schools were taught to sing his praises, people said it didn't matter. When he stood with his hands over his groin area for the playing of the national anthem and Pledge of Allegiance, people said it didn't matter. When he surrounded himself in the White House with advisors who were pro-gun control, pro-abortion, pro-homosexual marriage, and wanted to curtail freedom of speech to silence the opposition, people said it didn't matter. When he said he favors sex education in kindergarten, including homosexual indoctrination, people said it didn't matter. When his personal background was either scrubbed or hidden and nothing could be found about him, people said it didn't matter. When the place of his birth was called into question and he refused to produce a birth certificate, people said it didn't matter. When he had an association in Chicago with Tony Resco, a man of questionable character and who is now in prison and had helped Obama to a sweet deal on the purchase of his home, people said it didn't matter. When it became known that George Soros, a multi-millionaire Marxist, spent a ton of money to get him elected, people said it didn't matter. When Obama started appointing White House czars that were radicals, revolutionaries, and even avowed Marxist communists, people said it didn't matter. When he stood before the nation and told us that his intentions were to fundamentally transform this nation into something else, people said it didn't matter. When it became known that he had trained Acorn workers in Chicago and served as an attorney for Acorn, people said it didn't matter. When he appointed cabinet members and several advisors who were tax cheats and socialists, people said it doesn't matter. When he appointed a science czar, John Holdren, who believes in forced abortions, mass sterilizations, and seizing babies from teen mothers, people said it didn't matter. When he appointed Cass Sunstein as regulatory czar, who believes in explicit consent, harvesting human organs without family consent, and allowing animals to be represented in court while banning all hunting, people said it didn't matter. When he appointed Kevin Jennings, a homosexual and organizer of a group called Gay Lesbian Straight Education Network, as safe school czar, and it became known that he had a history of bad advice to teenagers, people said it didn't matter. When he appointed Mark Lloyd as diversity czar, who believes in curtailing free speech, taking from one and giving to another to spread the wealth, who supports Hugo Chavez, people said it didn't matter. When Valerie Jarrett, an avowed socialist, was selected as Obama's senior White House advisor, people said it didn't matter. When Anita Dunn, White House communications director, said Mao Zedong was her favorite philosopher and the person she turned to most for inspiration, people said it didn't matter. When he appointed Carol Browner, a well-known socialist, as global warming czar, working on cap and trade as the nation's largest tax, people said it didn't matter. when he appointed Van Jones, an ex-con and avowed communist, as green energy czar, who since had to resign when this was made known, people said, doesn't matter. When Tom Daschle, Obama's pick for Health and Human Services Secretary, could not be confirmed because he was a tax cheat, people said it didn't matter. When as President of the United States, he bowed to the King of Saudi Arabia, people said it didn't matter. When he traveled around the world criticizing America and never once talking of her greatness, people said it didn't matter. When his actions concerning the Middle East seemed to support the Palestinians over Israel, our longtime ally, people said it didn't matter. When he took American tax dollars to resettle thousands of Palestinians from Gaza to the United States, people said it didn't matter. When he upset the Europeans by removing plans for a missile defense system against the Russians, people said it didn't matter. When he played politics in Afghanistan by not sending troops early on when the field commander said they were necessary to win, people said it didn't matter. When he started spending us into a debt that was so big we could not pay it off, people said it didn't matter. When he took a huge spending bill under the guise of stimulus and used it to pay off organizations, unions, and individuals that got him elected, people said it didn't matter. When he took over insurance companies, car companies, banks, etc., people said it didn't matter. When it was pointed out that the auto industry bailouts only bailed out the rich and the corporations while Detroit lies in 50% abject poverty, the people said it didn't matter. When he took away student loans from the banks and put it through the government, people said it didn't matter. When he designed plans to take over the healthcare system and put it under government control, people said it didn't matter. When he claimed that he was Christian during the election and tapes were later made public that showed Obama speaking to a Muslim group and stating that he was raised a Muslim, was educated a Muslim, and still is a Muslim. And when he admitted to George Stephanopoulos, the people said it didn't matter. When he set into motion a plan to take over the control of all energy in the United States through cap and trade, people said it didn't matter. When he set into motion a plan to take over the control of all energy in the United States through cap and trade, people said it didn't matter. When he finally completed his transformation of America into a socialist state, people woke up. But Obama said it didn't matter. When Congress and the people showed outrage when he vetoed the Keystone Pipeline project, Obama said it doesn't matter. When the people showed outrage against forced birth control mandates to Christian organizations, Obama said it didn't matter. When Obama skewed passages of the Bible to validate his war on the rich, you people said it doesn't matter. When you lose your home, when you lose your money, when your children have no future, I'm going to say, I told you so. My name is Mike, and this is the Hot Seat.